Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to get right into one of the shortest, but maybe one of the most challenging letters in Scripture, the second epistle of John.
It's tiny, but it's packed with this major tension, isn't it?
It really is. Our mission is to figure out how this letter balances this huge command to love each other with, well, a very strict warning about holding on to the truth.
And that's the whole discussion right there. How do you love people generously, but also draw these really hard lines against deception? And all of it comes down to context.
Right. And taking things out of context is probably the biggest danger when reading any ancient text. You can make a verse say anything you want.
Exactly. The source material brought up a great example, Job 8.7. People love to quote that one.
Yeah. Your beginnings will seem humble. So prosperous will your future be. It's on posters.
It is. But if you actually read it in context, well, it's bad advice. It's from Job's friend Bildad, and he's completely wrong about what's happening.
So it's an error, not a promise. And that's a perfect parallel because T.D. John has a command that, if you just pull it out, sounds incredibly unloving.
Very severe.
So let's set the stage. Who is writing this letter and who's it for?
The author just calls himself the elder. And, it's widely believed that this is the Apostle John.
Okay.
He's writing to the elect lady and her children, which is most likely a poetic way of saying a specific local church. A house church, probably.
And he starts off pretty positively, right?
Oh, absolutely. He celebrates them. He says they're walking in the truth, and he just urges them to keep loving one another by walking according to his commandments.
But then the tone shifts. He's celebrating them, but he's also warning them about a very specific threat.
A very specific one. He says, many deceivers have gone out into the world, and he zeroes in on their teaching.
What were they teaching?
They were people who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. It's a denial of the incarnation.
Why does that one detail matter so much?
Well, because if Jesus wasn't truly human, truly in the flesh, then his suffering on the cross wasn't real. His sacrifice means nothing. The whole system of salvation just falls apart.
So this isn't a minor disagreement?
Not at all. John calls such a person the deceiver and the antichrist. The stakes are about as high as they can get.
Okay, and that brings us to the command itself in verses 10 and 11. It says, if anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your house or give him any greeting.
Yeah.
For whoever greets him takes part in his wicked works. That sounds like a complete shutdown. No hospitality, no kindness, just severance.
It sounds that way to us, but we have to put on our first century glasses. Hospitality then wasn't just being nice. It was a massive act of endorsement.
An endorsement.
Yes, especially for traveling teachers. They relied entirely on local house churches for food, a place to stay, and even financial support. To welcome them in was to approve of their message.
I see. So if you let a false teacher into your home, you were basically giving them a platform. You were sponsoring their tour, in a way.
Precisely. You become complicit. So the command wasn't about being mean to a stranger on the street. It was about refusing to sponsor and spread lies about Jesus within the community. It was protective.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's connect that to today. For you listening, false teaching probably isn't going to knock on your door.
No, it's much subtler. It can sneak in through social media, maybe a podcast you listen to, or even ideas from well-meaning friends.
So the principle is discernment. The question for us becomes, am I unknowingly supporting ideas or, giving my attention to things that actually pull me away from the truth?
It's all about being rooted in Scripture. That's the only way you can really spot the error when it comes along.
So at the end of the day, the tension remains. We have to love people, but that love can't compromise the gospel. You don't endorse deception out of a desire to be seen as loving.
And John wraps it all up so personally. He says he wants to come and talk to them face to face, so their joy may be complete. He believed that guarding these boundaries was the path to real joy.
That leaves us with a pretty challenging final thought. If providing support is a form of endorsement, what ideas are you supporting today? Maybe financially, maybe just with your time and attention that you haven't really tested against the core truths you hold. Something for you to think about.